long-term capital gains exemption. Now we understood what is the meaning of a long-term capital gain and what is the meaning of short-term capital gain, right? Now in case of certain long-term capital gains which arises namely from equity shares or a unit of equity oriented fund, okay, what happens is that the government wants to encourage in purchase and sale of shares of listed companies, okay, and mostly the foreign investors are more inclined towards purchase and sale of these companies because they are governed by several regulations and they have more trust on these companies. In order to encourage inflow of foreign funds into the country and to encourage purchase and sale of such shares, the capital gain arising on sale of equity shares which are listed, okay, or units of equity oriented fund, the Income Tax Act provides that the capital gains arising from sale of these are exempt from tax, okay. Now if I were to read this, and this exemption is provided in section 10 subsection 38. This section says that long-term capital gains, so please note it is only long-term capital gains which are exempt from tax, okay, from transfer of equity share of company or unit of equity oriented fund. So if there are long-term capital gain, condition number 1, such gains arises from sale of equity shares of a company or unit of equity oriented fund shall be exempt from tax where such transfer is subject to the payments of securities transaction tax. So securities transaction tax is applicable when you transact on the stock exchange, okay, and on stock exchange basically only listed company shares can be transacted. It thus follows that long-term capital gains from transfer of equity shares of a listed company or a unit of equity oriented fund will be exempt from tax, okay. Now as a corollary it follows that if there is a loss on sale of such shares, these will not be allowed to be set off. Why? Because fact of the life is that these gains, if any, are not taxable. Therefore if there is any loss also, that is not allowed to be set off against other capital gain income, okay. However, one thing which you need to keep in mind is that for the purpose of calculating MAT is basically minimum alternate tax, okay. For the purpose of calculating MAT is basically, if let's say for example if a company, okay, let me explain to you what is the meaning of MAT. What happens is in tax you are allowed many deductions, okay. What happens is because of these deductions at times, which could be even tax holidays and all, the taxable income TI becomes very low and the tax payable is also very low. So as an alternative, the government has said that either you pay this tax which is payable on your normal income according to the Income Tax Act, or whatever is your book profit. Now book profit is nothing but the profit as per profit and loss account, right? After making some adjustment which are prescribed in section 115 JB, you will study this separately, right? Whatever are the book profits that are coming in, you pay tax on this at a lower rate. So let's say if the normal tax rate is 30%, this rate has historically varied between 16 to 20%, right? So for the purpose of calculating this MAT, this profit will be included as a part of profit and loss account, right? So if you have some income from capital gains here, then this will be included for calculating book profits, and therefore if after including this your income is positive, you pay MAT at the rate of whatever that is. So let's say if it is 19%, you pay 19% tax on those profits, right? So in a nutshell, capital gains arising from long-term capital gain arising from transfer of equity shares or units of equity oriented funds subject to STT are exempt from tax, but you pay MAT on these profits in case of companies. Okay.